Hi everyone, I just wanted to pop on quickly to make a video, I guess just a life update. A lot of you back home have been asking just what I've been up to the last few months here, especially during COVID. I'm thinking about making a video just about COVID in Iceland and what's happened this year, but that will be a different video. This year there's been quite a few changes in my life. I moved into a new apartment by myself at the beginning of May. It's just a couple of minutes walk from where I was living last time. But it's a nice apartment, it's a studio. So I have a loft bedroom which I'm sitting in right now. There's not many windows, there's not much natural light, so it's quite dark in here, but it's okay for me. It's a nice size. And not long after I moved, I started doing my driving lessons. I've taken 10 lessons with my instructor, and how it works here is you do 10 lessons with your instructor, do some practice driving with someone you know, and then go back and do a few more lessons with your instructor, and you only need 15 lessons altogether. And there are 3 driving schools to go through. I finished the first one, which is online. I need to finish the second one, which is also online, and then there is a third one which is not far from the capital, where you have to drive around a track and the car gets put into a spin, and I'm not looking forward to it. It sounds very scary, but I need to revise my theory first and finish my second driving school and do a few more lessons with my instructor before I can get to that driving school anyway. And I'm not sure when that's going to happen because I think there's new regulations coming with COVID. I think driving lessons may stop again, but I'm not too sure on that. I went travelling a little bit this summer, not abroad obviously, but just around the country. My boyfriend and I did a trip to the west for a couple of days over a bank holiday weekend. That was very nice. We stayed in a really nice little hotel cabin kind of place. It was a hotel, but there was a couple of cabins which were part of the hotel, and we stayed in one of the cabins called Hreinsneff. Very, very pretty place. It was on a farm, tiny cute little cabin. It was all wooden but painted white in like a shabby chic kind of rustic style. It was perfect for us. And there was like a view of a mountain. I had one window from our bed, and the other side was like views over the fields because it was on a farm. We woke up to the sound of bleating sheep. There was a little chicken shed not very far from our cabin. There was lambs and chickens, and it was very nice. There was a nice restaurant there too. And then we spent another night in another cabin with a view of Kirkjafell, which is the most photographed mountain in Iceland, I believe. And we took a trip to the glacial lagoon and back, and saw a few sights on the way. And that was a 13-hour trip. And he was driving, because I obviously can't. But that was a lovely trip. I saw so much in that one day, more than I've seen in 3 years of living here in that one day. I've also been on a few hiking trips with a friend that I met this year at the gym. I've done a lot with her this summer actually. Also been getting a lot of vegetables from her garden and books, English books. She's been a very good friend to me this year, and I appreciate everything she's done for me this year. So going on from that, I've been trying to get into home preserving this year. I've been making a lot of jam this summer using free fruits that I've received or foraged. I made jam once before in my life before I came to Iceland. I made chili jam with my mum and my nan a few years ago when I was about 21, 22 maybe. The jam tasted really good. It was a Nigella recipe, but I was too scared to eat it all after a couple of months because I was so worried that I'd done something wrong and it was going to kill me. But now I've made jam quite a few times this summer, and I'm feeling a lot more confident to try more and more recipes in the future. So I'm probably going to make some chutney sometime in the next couple of months and keep it going. And next year I feel very confident planning to preserve things next summer, which is great. And yeah, foraging. I also went with the same friend to pick some mushrooms and some wild blueberries and crowberries. And so now I feel more confident knowing the places to go to pick them, and I also know some of the mushroom varieties that are edible, which is very useful because there are mushrooms everywhere here, especially late summer, early autumn. And so the mushrooms that we picked I dried out to save for later. and it's just really great to have this free source of food that has come from the nature. And I'm going to try to get some books with the Icelandic edible plants. And next summer I will know exactly what to look for, which is great. I've also been cooking a lot more, just baking. I have a lot more free time in Iceland than I did in the UK because I live so close to my job, and the workday finishes earlier. I just have a lot more free time, so cooking has always been a hobby of mine, but I have more time for that now. And this morning I actually baked a traditional Icelandic cake called hjónabandsæla. It's kind of like a cross between a crumble and a shortbread, but it contains oats, and it has rhubarb jam as a filling, and I actually made the jam in June. It's rhubarb and ginger jam, and it actually turned out really well. I really like that recipe. I'm about to take one over to my boyfriend and his dad when I finish filming this, and it's turned out pretty good. I'm happy with that. I've also been trying to knit more, do a bit more sewing and caring for my plants this year. I'm just trying to, I guess, live a more self-sufficient lifestyle this year, and I don't really know why. It's just something I've been getting into this year, I guess. And so I've got a few plants that are propagating at the moment, like succulents. I'm propagating new ones. I'm trying to knit a shawl at the moment and I'm faster at crocheting than I am knitting, so it's going very, very slowly. And I've been doing some repair work on some clothes, just hand sewing. And I also made a couple of masks, just hand sewn masks as well. I haven't had to use them yet, but I have them ready just in case. Yeah, I'm still in my job, still working, which is fine. This summer I did actually get summa free for the first time, which is a long summer holiday from work. It's 5 weeks, and it's the first time I've ever been entitled to that in a job in Iceland. You have to be working for 1 year, and I always start a new job in the summer, and this is the first time that I haven't started a new job, so I was finally entitled to that summa free. But because of COVID I couldn't come home like I was planning to. I was planning to do a few weeks at home, and the border was closed while I was on summa free, so unfortunately I couldn't come back and quarantine. The border opened I think a week before I went back to work, which is bad timing, but next year hopefully I'll be able to come back. More about COVID, it is hard being here, not knowing when I can next come home and not knowing when I can next see friends and family in the UK, but I'm doing okay with that. I know some people have been worried, but I'm fine. This year I was planning on coming home for Christmas. Every year there has been something that has prevented me from doing that. The last Christmas I spent with my mum and my nan was 2016, and that had been the first Christmas in a few years that I had spent it with them. So by this Christmas I would have only spent 1 Christmas with my family in the last 7 years, which is not that nice. I don't really celebrate Christmas, but it's nice to be with my family. So yeah, that plan got cancelled again due to COVID. I also normally go home for my birthday. I didn't go home this year for my birthday, January 2020, because I went home a few weeks later instead, because it was my nan's 80th birthday and my friend's son's 1st birthday. So I went in February instead to celebrate those birthdays. I also won't be able to go home for my birthday this year, annoyingly. Hopefully I'll be able to go home by the summer. There's no guarantee, we'll see what happens. Even if the borders are open, if COVID is still rife, I'm not going to risk it. Not for myself, I have a lot of family members in the risk group and I don't want anything happening to them. And I also wouldn't want to bring anything back to Iceland with me if I did contract COVID in the UK. I guess there's not so much more going on in my life. There's yeah, I've just been going to the gym, been going to work, had a few day trips. I've just been home a lot, cooking, knitting, sewing, reading. It's a very interesting life I lead here for a 26-year-old. So yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm planning to make a video about COVID in Iceland, maybe, at some point soon. Yeah, and anyone who has been trying to contact me who I haven't been calling or anything, sorry, I've just been forgetting, I've just been doing other things and I haven't been so good at keeping contact with you all lately. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, hopefully I will see you all at some point in 2021. I miss you all. Bye.